welcome back to another episode of Revealing Biblical Truths. In this video, we are continuing to go through the book of Exodus, beginning in chapter 15. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and comment down below on your insights on this video. So in chapter 15, Moses begins to sing a song of praise to Yahuwah together with the Israelites. Miriam also came out with her timbrels and danced. Finally, the Israelites left into the wilderness, and after 3 days they had no water. They came to Marah, but the waters were bitter there, so they couldn't drink it. Then they came to Elim, and there were 12 wells there, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there. In chapter 16, it says that they left Elim and went into the wilderness of Sin, which was between Elim and Mount Sinai, and they left on the 2nd month of the 15th day after they had left Egypt. So, if they left Egypt during the Passover time, then on the biblical calendar, this would have been at the end of the 3rd month or beginning of the 4th month, which is near the time of Shavuot or Pentecost. The people complained of being hungry, so they told Yahuwah them that he would rain bread from heaven, and they should gather the food every day, and twice as much on the 6th day, so as to prepare for the Sabbath. Also it happened that Yah had promised to give them flesh at evening, so there appeared quail on the ground, and then in the morning the bread came. It's very interesting that in the Hebrew, the word manna, or a word for manna, does not appear there in the text at all. What actually appears is that the Israelites looked at this small, round, flaky substance, and they said to each other, "What is this?" They didn't know what it was, so Moshe told them it was bread for them. Lechem, he used the word lechem. So he told them to gather an omer for each person, and not to leave anything on the ground. But the people did not listen, and they left some on the ground, and it became stinky and bred worms, and Moshe got angry. Finally, in verse 31, it says the Hebrew word man, which is Strong's number 4478, and comes from the root word ma, which means, "What is it?" because they didn't know what it was. The Brown Driver Briggs Concordance actually gives somewhat of a description of what this substance could be. It says that it was known to the Bedouin in the Sinai area as a juice exuding in heavy drops from twigs or leaves from the arfa tree or the tamarisk tree. And during May and June, this is when it happened, and that it was sweet, sticky, and like honey. That's very interesting, as the time frame is right, being in May or June according to verse 31, and it was like a white coriander seed and tasted like honey. In chapter 17, it says they came out of that land, and they came to Rephidim, but there was no water to drink. They complained to Moshe again and asked Yah what to do. Yah told him to bring the elders to him to a rock, and to strike the rock with his rod, and the waters would come out. He did so, and he called the place Massa or Meribah, which means to test and strife. Now this rock at Rephidim is still standing to this day, and is an amazing sight. Here are a few pictures of it. There actually is a drone footage of the rock as well, and surrounding area, if you look for it. The rock stands about 60 feet tall and sits on top of a hill that's about 200 feet tall. Following this, the Amalekites came and fought with the Israelites. Moshe took the rod with him as well as Aaron and Hur and went to the top of the hill. And when Moshe would raise his arms and rod, then the Israelites would start winning. But when he let his arms down, they would start losing. So Aaron and Hur got a rock for him to sit on, and they got on each side of him, and they held his arms up all day, and then they prevailed against the Amalekites. Moshe built an altar there and called it Yahuwah Nisi, which means Yahuwah is my banner. In chapter 18, it says that Yithro got Zipporah, Moshe's wife, and also his 2 sons, Gershom and Eleazar, and went to Moshe in the wilderness, and camped there with him, below the mount. Moshe then proceeded to tell Yithro all that had happened. After that, Yithro asked Moshe why he sits there with the people surrounding him, and he told Yithro that he judges the matters, and that when something arises. But Yithro said that it is too difficult for him to do that by himself, and that he should appoint men over him over the smaller matters, but that Moshe can judge the bigger matters. So Moshe did so, and then Yithro left to go back to Midian. In chapter 19, the Israelites were at the base of Mount Sinai, and Yah called Moshe and told him that if they keep his covenant, that they would become a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This same phraseology reappears in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, where it says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." The people said that they would do these things, and then Yah appeared to Moshe in a cloud and spoke to him so that the people would hear and believe. He told Moshe to sanctify the people, and they should wash their clothes, and then on the third day he would come down on the mountain to speak to the people. He told Moshe that the mountain was off limits to the people, and they should not come near it. So on the third day there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud appeared on the mountain, as well as the sound of a shofar blast that was very loud. It then says, "And Mount Sinai was also altogether on a smoke, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly." The people were wanting to get closer to see Yah, but he told them to make sure the elders did not let them come up, because they might die from looking at him. And that ends chapter 19. Next time on Revealing Biblical Truths, Yahuwah gives the 10 Commandments. Thanks for watching. Shalom.